Okay, so this is the way that you're going to get a debt collection company to actually help you get a charge off removed from your credit reports. Again, a debt collector who has purchased your debt using that information to get a charge off removed from your credit reports. Now, this is a technique that I came up with. I actually sent it to a law firm a consumer law firm to actually review it. And I paid them to do some casework on figuring out if this was a viable strategy, even though I knew it was, because logically, like if you just think about what I'm going to tell you logically, it just makes sense. So right now, I need you to like this video because I want this video to blow up. And also, this strategy I came up with a long time ago. For years ago, I came up with it and never shared it. And now I've been sharing it on my YouTube channel to help people like you out that just, for whatever reason, don't want to come to us for your service, or it's the do-it-yourself society. That's what it is right now, the do-it-yourself society. So, but it'll be worth getting a whole bunch of views. So like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. So now here's the base. Here is the foundation. Here's the foundation, so we can make sense of how you can remove a charge-off or have the charge-off mark paid on your credit reports, even if you did not pay it off. So here's the foundation. So this is how I figured this whole thing out. This is when the aha moment came to me. This is what happened. We help our clients negotiate settlements on original creditor accounts, and that's nothing new that they would market paid for less. But what I had noticed is that they never say so-and-so paid it for less. It's just a data entry paid for less. So I was like, okay, if you pay it for less, it doesn't say, our client, if it on there, it doesn't say paid for less. And when I went back, when I was thinking back to when I had repaired my credit and got out of debt in the 1990s, it was like, on all of the things that I remember, it would never say that I paid it for less. It would just have a notation. And so I started figuring out, which this is nothing new. Like this part, some of this that I'm telling you is really nothing new, but it helps build a foundation of what I came up with to be able to get the charge-offs either removed or marked paid, even if the client did not pay them, that it was sold to a debt collector, is that everything on your credit report, if you think about it this way, it is a data entry per line. So one line, all of it makes a story. All of it, like one trade line is a story. But there are lines within the trade line that build the story. And each of those lines within the trade line is a data point. And according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, every item must be 100% accurate. According to the president of Equifax, in a statement that he made when he was being questioned by Congress, stated, "It is not up to us to make sure that the information is 100% accurate on individuals' credit reports. It is up to the individual to make sure that it's 100% accurate on the credit reports." So what I figured out was, and this is stuff that is always been done, but it was never thought about in the way that I'm going to explain it to you, is that when you're disputing information on your credit reports, we always thought about it as the story of that account, but it's actually the story of all of the data points on that account. So if you have information that is inaccurate on the data points, each line is a data point, you can challenge that specific line on the data point, because that is exactly what builds the whole story. And if the whole story is not built accurately, the story must either be removed or corrected. And this is why you'll get that document stating that they made an update or whatever they did. Now, let's get back to removing a charge off of your credit reports or having it updated as paid for less. When I started, paying more details to the per line data points of information on the individual's credit reports and in information on my credit reports. So I want you to get this. So wake up. I know. Come on, wake up. I want you to get this, because this is like a secret within a secret that's wide open to our face. But the reason why we don't pay attention to it is because we look at the trade line as one, instead of looking at the trade line as individual data points that build the trade line history, which is what's built on if the information is accurate or inaccurate. So we think about it a lot with late payments. So we're like, I want to get that late payment removed. When you're thinking on that level, you're thinking of removing one item within the trade line, or the balance is wrong. But that is actually, when I tested it, that is actually what I ended up figuring out when it came down to original creditors selling debt to debt collectors. I was like, what if we disputed based on that information that the debt collector provided, that the account was purchased? See, remember, debt collector is not saying, they try to say that it was assigned. They're not assigning nothing. I wanted to use another word with that, but I don't want to, just in case some kids are watching. I found out that my grandson, he actually watches me on YouTube, and he was like, he calls me Ange, Grandpa Ange. He said, I'm not falling into the trap. That's what he said, because I'll talk about, you can fall into traps with having bad credit. And he told me, he said, I'm not falling in any traps. But so if you have, I lost my train of thought here. But so if we back up, if we have the document from the debt collector stating that they purchased the debt, they have to purchase. That's why if you follow me, man, talking about full circle, if you follow what I tell you to do when you're doing the cease and desist collection activities letter that I give at the end of all of my videos, where I say that this is going to get you into the position to be able to move forward, to either get that debt, have them stop coming after you for the debt, or if you end up getting sued in court. But that same letter can be used with the information that they give you, that they purchase a debt, to get that information off of your credit reports. So you do a debt validation to the debt collector. You want them to give you a bill of sale on where did you get this debt from? Who did you purchase it from? So we can see if they even purchase it from another debt collector, whatever. That's what you're going to use to deal with them. But we want that information so we can see how we can get this information either removed from the original creditor's trade line, get that trade line removed based off of that information, or have the original creditor make a determination that they should just mark that paid for less. You can mark it paid, whatever you want to do, mark it paid for less, or remove it based on that information. So again, if you were to go to the original creditor and work out a deal, maybe you've done this before. Look at what they put on there. They will say that it was paid for less. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, why don't, if I do a settlement, that they don't remove it? It is actually against the credit reporting. It's a violation for the original creditor to just remove an account, even if you settle it for less when you're settling it for less with them. Not to say that you can't get it removed later if you do it, but they cannot just go in there and do it. Now, debt collector, when you do it, they can get that information removed. A debt collector can do that. All right, so let's review. I know I said a lot. Let's review. Bottom line, this is what you need to do. If you get your credit reports. So if you don't have your credit reports, go to the website, the number 3. So YOUR, the number 3, scores.com. Get your credit reports in all 3 scores. You have a responsibility, just like the CEO of Equifax said, to know what is on your credit reports and to make sure that it's 100% accurate, because you suffer the consequences. They don't suffer the consequences when information is inaccurate on your credit reports. You suffer the consequences of that. Next, if you have charge-offs from original creditors, if they've been sold to debt collectors, you know if they've been sold because you've received letters in the mail that said that they were sold to debt collectors. Next, get my 3-pack of letters. The link is below this video. I give them for free, but you should donate to them. I do ask for a donation. It is worth it. Everything that I do for you on this channel is worth something. So it's not just, just stuff that I just throw out there. Use those 3 letters. Use the appropriate letter, the cease and desist collection activities letter, to get the information from the debt collection company. You want everything that shows that they purchased that debt. Once you have that sheet, that bill of sale that they're going to send to you, if they don't send it, you request it again. And then that's getting you set to deal with them, putting you in a good position to deal with them. Next, using that bill of sale, you're going to craft a letter, and you're going to send this directly to the original creditor. And you're going to tell them that you know that they sold the debt and that they sold it for less, and that was their decision. You didn't tell them to do that. That was their decision. And that they need to mark it either paid for less on your credit reports, or they can remove it off your credit reports. They usually will not remove it. You can use that same documentation to go to the bureaus to get it removed by stating the same thing. You're just changing up the letter to go to the bureaus rather than to the original creditor. From the results that we've gotten for our clients, when we submit it to the original creditor, they would mark it paid for less. Later, if you submit it to the bureaus with that information from that bill of sale, they will either allow the original creditor to update it, or the original creditor will just choose to have it removed. You might be saying, well, why is it done that way? Because the original creditor is just not allowed to just go in there and remove stuff just to have it removed, because this is banking regulation. This is lending laws. But if you request it from the bureaus due to inaccuracy, they have a trigger to where they can have that information removed. I didn't make the rules. That's just the way it is. All right. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch video What Makes Us Different so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. Links are below this video. If you have debt collectors coming after you, use one of these letters. My 3-pack of letters, statute of limitations, cease and desist collection activities letter, and debt validation letter. One of those, the instructions are on there. Whatever your debt situation is, use that letter to deal with debt collectors. You can stop them early before they move forward. Also, you're going to use those letters to get that information so you can get that information moved off your credit reports, those charge-offs removed. If you're getting sued by debt collectors, I have links for other services below this video. Check them out. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the CreditRepairShop.com.